So I want to start this video with a question of the video right off the bat. I was thinking about this. When you think of a franchise-defining move, essentially, what thing that can happen to a franchise can completely define the franchise for 5 or even 10 years? I was thinking about a bunch of different things. Maybe the most important thing is ownership. Perhaps the second most important thing is, a general manager. Perhaps a superstar player like Sidney Crosby. Man, that can definitely change your franchise, right? That could be arguably one of the most. But you know what? I think more than anything, it's goaltending. Goaltending is so random and it's kind of inefficient sometimes, but at the end of the day, a star goalie can change your franchise completely and stand on his head. And we are going to be talking about why that relates to the Calgary Flames today and today's video, guys. But welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It's obviously very, very humbling. Now, if you followed this channel for a while, my usual opinion on goalies is that you should probably wait until at least a couple of seasons to see if the guy has enough potential to be a starting goalie. Now, Dustin Wolf was really good last year for the Calgary Flames. He almost dragged that team into the playoffs. Let's not forget that. Like, he was instrumental in that team getting anywhere close to the playoffs. Like, that team in front of him wasn't necessarily like an A1 team, and he deserves a ton of credit for that. But at the end of the day, he's a player that only has about 70 games played in the NHL. So no matter which way you look at it, this is going to be a level of a risk. And I'm going to tell you right now that this is my opinion. This is going to be a franchise-defining move for the Calgary Flames because, again, America has a lot of good goalies, and Dustin Wolf is probably one of them, albeit I will have to admit there is a level of risk here, and you just can't deny it. Now, the best thing about this contract, though, to me, is that they did buy up unrestricted free agent years. So he expires at 2033 at the age of 32. The term is 7 years, and the cap hit is $7.5 million. If Dustin Wolf is able to reach his top potential, that's actually not bad. Like, let's say he is consistent .915 goalie throughout his career. That's not bad. Honestly, that's not bad at all. I really, really actually don't mind that because, like, again, I remember saying Sergei Bobrovsky, I did not like that contract when he signed it. Not that he's getting paid obviously Bobrovsky's getting paid more than Dustin Wolf, but at the end of the day, he was instrumental in Florida winning those Stanley Cups. Let me be clear. Now, when we look at modified no movement clauses and clauses in the contract, in the first 2 years of the contracts, 26-27 and 27-28, there are no clauses at all. And then in 28-29, he is going to have a modified no movement clause. So it is a 10-team no trade list in years 3 to 7, 10-team no trade list. So honestly, more than anything, the Calgary Flames did give themselves a way to get out of this contract. If it is bad, that's pretty good. Now, obviously, you just really need Dustin Wolf to perform, which I think that he will. I think that Dustin Wolf proved himself last year and he is a good goalie. I'm just not going to say that there's no risk to this because this is a genuinely risky move from the Calgary Flames. What the Calgary Flames are doing here is they're betting on a goalie, but this contract genuinely could potentially look good. My take on goalies is very simple. Goalies are voodoo. Goalies are strange. We just don't know what's going to happen with them year to year. So the biggest thing with analyzing a goalie is I just look at consistency, okay? But again, he does. The funny thing about Dustin Wolf in this contract, though, is 7.5. He doesn't need to be spectacular. He needs to be reliable and above average, right? That's what he needs to be. Reliable and above average. If he can do that, he can provide the Flames with a lot of value in this contract. And let me be clear, this is another American guy that's choosing to be with the Flames. The Flames need this more than anything. They need guys that are willing to stick around for the long term and choose to be Flames. Let's not forget, it wasn't that long ago that the Calgary Flames had a mass exodus from their franchise through guys like Johnny Gaudreau, RIP, Matthew Tkachuk, and these guys, that they had an unbelievable team, but there was just a mass exodus. What they need to do is they need to bring in guys that want to be there and create a winning culture, and Dustin Wolf is going to start that, hopefully, and saying, listen, I want to be here, signing a 7-year deal. They bought UFA years this here too. They didn't just walk him right to UF. Well, his contract will be ending in unrestricted free agency, but you understand what I mean, that they bought UFA years here, so he is choosing to sign with the Calgary Flames over just, walking out the door with another franchise as soon as he can. And let's not forget, Dustin Wolf was actually quite good in the American Hockey League. I think the AHL, he won the AHL goaltending award like 2 out of the 3 years or something like that. Like, he was really good in the AHL. So he does have a short sample size in the NHL, but he actually has been good at lower leagues. Now, him being good at lower leagues doesn't guarantee NHL success, but it is a good indicator, especially for a young player. Like, it is staggering how good Dustin Wolf was in the American Hockey League. In 21-22 Stockton Heat in the American Hockey League, he played 47 games and put up a .924 save percentage. In Calgary's American Hockey League franchise in 22-23, he played 55 games and had a .932 save percentage. Boy, oh boy. And then he had 17 games in 23-24. He wasn't that good in that year, but he was quite good last year. And even in 23-24, he also played in the AHL, had a .922 save percentage. Wow, right? The funny thing is, when you look at Dustin Wolf throughout his career, he's actually been able to be very healthy and reliable. The one thing that I like about goalies more than anything is that their ability to show up and just be healthy. Goalies, some of them get injured quite a bit. In 2018-2019, he played 61 games in the WHL, 46 games, 47 games in the AHL, 55 games, 53 games for the Calgary Flames. Like, this is a player that can play a ton of games for you. You just need him to be good with playing those games, with a 2.64 goals against average for the Flames last year as well. So again, this is a guy that is reliable. He shows up. Now he just needs to be above average. I'm going to do another question of the video. Let's say he's about a 910 to 915 goalie for the rest of his NHL career. Calgary Flames fans, would you be happy with that? Honestly, for 7.5, to me, I don't think he can be average. He needs to be above average. So let's say the NHL save percentage is .898. He needs to be .910. I think .910 is a good percentage where he needs to be, right? I don't really want him to be below that because he's earning quite a bit of money. That is a big cap hit. Anyways, I just wanted to touch on this Dustin Wolf stuff. A really, really big bet by the Calgary Flames. I was actually kind of surprised by this, but honestly, it could turn out to be pretty good for them. He's only 24 years old, so we will see where this goes. Guys, I'm going to leave this video here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys, and make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.